What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Just when you think things may be time to resolve themselves, the club is going to decide to prove that it has no spine and it has no plan for the future. Stick with us. We'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today, it is Wednesday, June 6th, 2023, and of course I got your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all the news you care about each and every single day. Before we do anything though, do me a solid favor, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. And real quick, I'm gonna let you guys in on a secret, okay? So I've been trying to push this thing for the last little bit. We are almost at 100 subscribers. We are three subscribers away from hitting 100 over on my other channel, the Now We Can Talk Like Men podcast channel. We're having a lot of fun over there, a lot of nonsense. But what I haven't told you guys is that once we reach 100 subscribers, I told you that we're doing a giveaway for one of these shirts, one of these bad boys. If you like the Bianconeri Zone shirts, the black, the white, the green, any of that, we're giving one away. But what I didn't tell you all, we have other people that are subscribed to the channel that aren't Bianconeri Zone viewers and watchers. Only Bianconeri Zone people like you guys are going to be subject and be able to win the Bianconeri Zone shirt. So if you guys go over there right now, we only need 3 more people and then we're doing a giveaway. If you go subscribe to the channel right now, you'll be entered in and have a very, very, very good chance of being one of the winners there on the channel, on the podcast. And we appreciate you supporting us. We have a lot of fun, a lot of nonsense. You can watch the latest video. I'll put it at the end of this video. Dwight, my friend, gave us a very, very shocking revelation of how he handles himself in the bathroom. We'll talk about that. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on. If you could, pop over there. We'll put a link in the description down below as well. If you could, subscribe to the channel. Then we'll do that giveaway for you guys as soon as we hit 100 subscribers. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and just get into it. Let's actually get into the news of the day. And this one's going to be quick hit. I'm just going to give you the news. I'm going to be very, very little bit of it. Am I actually going to give any kind of opinion? Mainly because I can barely even talk right now. But the news waits for nobody. All right, very first up, let's go ahead and get into it. Gazzetta dello Sport reporting that De Laurentiis is not going to let Gentoli go to Juventus. Despite the willingness to give up bonus and part of his wage, De Laurentiis expects Juventus to negotiate with him, an option never taken into consideration by Juventus. So we'll see. Right now, I think he wants to try to get whatever he can out of Juventus, squeeze it out of him, so that way they can do it before they're able to get Gentoli, because he knows how important what a key piece Gentoli was in creating what they had there in Napoli this season. All right, let's continue on and let's go ahead and move on to other news that's not as good. Definitely not a very good news if you're me personally, but Gianluca Di Marzio, who came out of the woodwork, and I guess now he has a lot to say about Juventus and he has all this knowledge about Juventus. We'll see. Take it with a grain of salt, but he says that Juve and Quadrado are in talks over a new deal. Like at this point, just put a bullet in me. Put a bullet in me if this is the way Juventus is going to go. But here's the problem: is from that things only go on and get worse. So continue with the video, try to get with it. But there's a lot of just negativity and not great news that's coming out. A lot of that is coming from Di Marzio though, so maybe take it with a grain of salt. As I said, we continue on. Alfredo Padula though, who had some good pieces last year, put out that Juve has had an agreement since November with that of Milinkovic-Savic's agent, but the club now has other things to address first. So as it stands right now, he is actually not going to be the option that Juventus are looking for to bolster their midfield, which to me is like, I guess it depends what they're actually are addressing and what players they're getting. What coaches are they actually getting? Are we going to have news about that front? But right now, if you lose out and don't get Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, that's a big loss to me. Because to me, I feel like that was a guy that we kind of felt like this upcoming summer was going to be about him, right? For at least going into it. But now it's such a ramshackle group that we have. Continuing on, though, Di Marzio goes on to talk about more good, or actually, this is actually one of the few positives that we have in this video for Juventus, and that's that Alexandro, despite the automatic renewal triggered until 2024, could surprisingly actually find a solution with Juventus to leave the club. So we may finally be free of our Alexandro plight that we've been dealing with for the last how many years, right? All right, let's continue on, though. Let's actually get into the news when it comes to Adrien Rabiot. I thought it was done for. I thought there would be no chance of Adrien Rabiot continuing to be a Juventus player moving forward, especially after even the season. Again, I would like to see more from Adrien Rabiot outside of just a renewal year. I would like to see how he performs day to day after he has the deal. But anyway, what we have here is that Juventus actually are going to offer him kind of a great idea. This is what I floated out there, and many others have said throughout this season would be a fantastic deal. And see how this works out. Tuttosport is saying that Juventus are going to try to offer Rabiot a 1-year deal on the same wage. I'm not going to argue about the wages, but keep him on a year-to-year basis and see if he performs like that because he has the fire under his ass from being trying to get that next contract. Will he agree to it? I doubt it. I highly doubt Rabiot will, especially if he has offers from Manchester United and Chelsea, somewhere like that, where they're going to pay him maybe even more money for him to go. Why would he stay at Juve, right? All right, we continue off though. We go, how will this affect things in the end? Well, Gianluca Di Marzio comes back out and says Juventus have not fully given up on keeping Rabiot, as we saw. But Frattesi is the alternative should he end up leaving the club. But when it comes to Frattesi, there are some pieces there that we have to keep an eye on. Gianluca Di Marzio continues, and he says that Davide Frattesi is a real target that Juventus want to push for. However, he is also on Inter and Roma's list. Sassuolo value the player at 30 million euros right now, especially if he wants to play, depending on how much that Frattesi really cares about playing in the European competitions. Both of those squads are playing in better competitions than Juventus will be in the Conference League. But you'll have Inter obviously playing in the Champions League, and then of course you'll have Europa play for Roma now that they kept Juve out of it. So 2 things to keep an eye on there. But Frattesi could be an option for the club. They have to find a way to battle away Inter and Roma for him as well. All right, let's get into here's the drama of the situation. Allegri, Calvo, everything that's gone along, all the bitterness and disdain that maybe a lot of them are having for each other at the club right now. Well, it's starting to come out and it's starting to steep and it's starting to be palpable and very noticeable. Like my voice is right now, I feel like I'm like a dying zebra. This is perfect situation. I sound like a dying zebra for this moment. Anyway, Tuttosport saying that in Udine, at the end of the match, someone showed Max Allegri images of the penalty that was awarded to Roma, blowing up nerves with subsequent outbursts against Calvo for the club's lack of presence. It's all up to Elkin now. Elkin will be the guy to make the decision. Is he going to make the right decision, or is he going to back the wrong guy? We continue off of that and talk about the situation with Calvo and Allegri. Nico Scheda says, since the Sevilla game, differences between Calvo and Allegri have not been smoothed out. Between the two, there's a high tension between in the relationship. Calvo did not like the coach's post-Udinese presser, and I don't think many of us should have liked it. Honestly, I mean, at this point, I'm with Calvo on this. We need to move on. We need to move toward the future. If you're sticking with Max Allegri, and there have been reports out there that they're sticking with Max Allegri, let's go ahead. Gianluca Di Marzio yesterday said that Max Allegri will be the coach for the 2023-2024 season. Before I even try to handle this, what I will say is until the sporting director is final, whether it's Mana or whoever else out there, if it is going to be Gentoli or whoever's going to be the sporting director, that will be when we know the future of the club. If we stick with this and we know that they're going to stick with Max Allegri, we have a big problem on our hands. Juventus, the fans, the club, to me, I mean, at this point, I make the joke, like I jokingly tongue-in-cheek say that the club is dead. The club's brain dead at that point. Like at that point, there is nothing that I see, any fruitfulness, any way forward for the club if this is what we get stuck with. It's very frustrating for me right now to look at the situation and say, how can you look at what Max Allegri's done, the lack of development, the lack of any kind of game planning, the lack of success against the top tier clubs, the only clubs that should be your rival in the clubs in the Serie A, there's been no success there. A trophyless season, there is nothing to move forward with. And if you do this for another season, you're very, very, very detrimental to the club, your fan base, an apathetic fan base that isn't going to games currently, and you're already telling them that they cannot go out and they cannot, have the banners, they can't have the flares and all the fun parts of it. You have to go sit in that freaking library and watch this bullshit game that is being played that is ugly, and it is literally, it's pulling teeth to go to games at this point, to watch games. When every time I have to watch a game, it is a chore right now. It's not fun. It's not even fun doing this channel because right now it is work to be a fan of Juventus. And that is something I've never said in my lifetime until now. So right now, it's time for them to make a difference, make a change, and move forward. If not, you're stuck with the same crap. One of the other worrying signs, and this is maybe something where I say that when it comes to Elkin, if he is sticking by Allegri and they move forward with Max Allegri, at this point, this would be something that I say that, he needs to sell the club. At that point, the Agnelli family, everything that goes with the history doesn't matter anymore because what you're doing is you're killing it. You're killing your entire the existence of the club, the history, all that. You're putting it into a grave. And at this point, we need something else. We need something to move forward with. But what I go along with, though, and kind of showing the lack of a spine, and the reason I bring this up, and I'll save most of this for Ale. He'll do a video later in the day, or I say that a daily or a live stream later that he'll go more in depth into this. But there are reports out there that a letter's been sent out. This is Sergio Fernandez, who said that Juventus has sent a letter to Real Madrid and Barcelona stating that it is initiating the legal process to disassociate itself from the Super, I think it meant League. I don't know what was written there. I don't know who was drunk there, but the Super League. It's a bureaucratic process that will take a few weeks, but the decision is firm. Goes on to say, Sport did said that in the letter sent to Real Madrid and Barcelona, Maurizio Scanavino explains that the UEFA has threatened to ban the club for 5 years from all European competitions. Now, when I say the club has no backbone, that's fine. I completely understand that. But my point is, if you're going to stick by Max Allegri and you're going to do all these other things that hurt the club, but then you're going to back away from the Super League at the same time, what's the point? You're not going to be playing in Super League or you're not going to be playing in the other leagues anyway. You might as well play in the Super League if you're not going to play in the Champions League. And who cares about being banned from Europe when you can just go play in the Super League? They can't control that. UEFA can't stop you. Play in the Super League. That's the way I would look at it. Unless you're actually going to do things that are progressive and moving forward. When you make decisions like retaining and maybe signing a new deal with Juan Cuadrado, when you make decisions like keeping Max Allegri, you're not saying that you have a vision for the future. You're not showing that you know what you're doing to better for the club. And at this point, it's something that I worry about. And it's something that I think we need to seriously, strongly look at the leadership, the ownership, and where this club is, and maybe even have to go full. I hate to go full Manchester United. It hasn't worked out great overall. But at that point, I might be understanding some of the people that are saying sell the club. Anyway, I'll let Ale take it from there. He'll talk about it later. Make sure you tune in for that live stream this evening. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon, stay notified for all of our latest videos. Remember, if you go hit that subscribe button over on the other channel, then Now We Can Talk Like Men channel, you guys can go out there and get one of these for free. I'll be sending it to you guys very shortly. I'll see you guys next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri. Say hello to the old lady for me.